You're listening to Soap Dirt, the latest in television entertainment news.
Hey there, Young and the Restless fans. It's Belinda from Soap Dirt, and we want to talk about 5 reasons that Victor Newman really needs to fire Victoria right now. Actually, preferably yesterday, because she's wildly out of control. If he can retroactively fire her, that would be great. We're going to dig into 5 very valid and current reasons that are all still in play, all still happening, that are reasons that her dad needs to boot her out of that CEO chair, whether he sits in it, whether he puts Nikki in it, whether he puts Nick or Adam in it. Victoria's skinny little bottom should not be in that chair anymore. We got 5 reasons why. If you haven't already, please reach down, click that subscribe button so you don't miss any of our Y&R updates, news, and spoilers. All right, so the first thing is, and we did a video about this a while back, if you look at our Young and the Restless playlist and go back, gosh, even like a couple of months ago, it remains valid, is that Victoria Newman is grievously breaching HR policies for any company, much less one like hers that is, I don't know if they've got stock and it's publicly traded. I think it is. It's been a while since they talked about stock and stuff with Newman. But, Nate Hastings could get a lawyer. He could get Michael Baldwin right now, other than he's a Newman attorney, but just for example, Nate could get himself a lawyer and he could sue the holy heck out of Newman Inc. for sexual harassment because he was dating someone else and Victoria kept pursuing him, and he even at one point was so concerned about her reaction to him rejecting her that he asked, like, if I say no, is my job still safe? And she had to reassure him. So the very fact that Nate had to ask that question validates the fact that it's sexual harassment, because if there is somebody who has more power and somebody who has less power, and the person with less power has to ask that person with more power, if I reject you sexually, does that mean I lose my job? That means there's a power disparity, and what the person with more power is doing is inappropriate. Even if you tell that person, oh no, I won't, the very fact that they have that leverage and that there's even a conversation about sex on the table makes it sexual harassment. Victoria is a sexual harasser 100%. There's no getting around it. All right, the second thing is what she's doing with Adam. Victoria wants to target Adam and McCall Holdings. That's a company that her father, who is the creator of Newman Enterprises, he spent good money buying that company, and her attitude is, oh, Adam shouldn't have anything because Dad gave it to him. Well, honey, Dad gave you a company too, didn't he? And you clearly don't deserve it because you're acting out. And this stuff with Adam has been going on for a long time. And I'm not saying Adam hasn't ever done stuff to her, that they've done stuff to each other. But right now, we're at an age where we should be grown-ups, right? And when Adam was over at Newman Media, that's when she started all this bullcrap. And she just couldn't leave him alone. Newman Media was doing great under his stewardship. All she had to do was just leave it alone. She couldn't. She could not leave it alone. She could not let Adam have any success. She can't let him have any oxygen to thrive. She wants to be like the biggest tree in the forest that's smothering out everybody else. And the bottom line is she is wasting Newman time and assets by going to war with Adam, because there's no reason these companies should be at war with each other when they're both Newman-owned businesses. The third reason that she really needs her butt kicked is it's not just Adam that she's targeting. She's now targeting Nick Newman. With Adam, it's, petty difference of opinion stuff. For the most part, Nick has never done a lot to hurt Victoria. He's done one notable thing, which I will mention, is do you remember when Nick put on that JT Hellstrom mask and was running around tormenting people? That was a guy who had abused his sister, and him running around gaslighting people in that mask was abusive to his sister. I will say this, it was extremely out of character for Nick, and it was that crap writing that was done under the Eurotrash director, Mal Young. And, his tenure was dodgy. A lot of the stuff he did was horrible. He tried to write Victor out. He got rid of Doug Davidson as Paul Williams. There was just so many things he did. And trashing JT's character was another, and then making Nick put on this mask and run around terrorizing people in the most un-Nick thing. So it's very frustrating. And now Victoria is targeting Nick, who's not really ever done anything to her. And heck, Nikki could be next. I mean, all to make room for her bed buddy, Nate Hastings. She won't listen to Victor. She won't listen to Nikki. And she just sidelined Nick also, and then continues to target him. I mean, who's next? Is she going to go after Abby? It's kind of incredible. All right, the number 4 of 5 reasons that Victor needs to fire Victoria right now is that Victoria is crapping on her mom, Nikki. In the most recent episode, Nikki came to talk to her about the fact that she noticed that Nick's team had been disbanded. And Victoria tries to sidestep and says, no. They've just been repurposed because Nick isn't here. And Nikki's thing is like, okay, well, if Nate is temporarily filling in for Nick, why wouldn't he still be using Nick's team? And Victoria's thing is, Mom, you just don't understand business. It's very smug, especially smug for somebody, I don't know, who didn't go to business school. And I mean, granted, Nikki's an ex-stripper, not that she went to business school either, but Adam did. Adam has an MBA from freaking Harvard. Anyway, so the stuff that she was saying to her mother was so belittling and so insulting and so pejorative that I think Nikki needs to go back to Victor and say, our daughter needs a timeout. She's been a real B to me today, and I did not like the way she sassed me. All right, before we dig into the 5th and final reason that we think Victor should immediately fire Victoria, if you haven't, please click that subscribe button so you don't miss any of our Y&R updates. And if you're enjoying this video, please click a like as well. So the 5th and final reason that Victor needs to do something about his namesake daughter is Victoria has opened the doors of Newman and ushered in snakes. Those snakes are Nate and Audra. And she is giving Nate free reign at Newman Enterprises. Audra has got free reign at Newman Media. Now that Nate is over in Nick's role, Audra stepped into Nate's role. And what Victoria is doing is that she's power mad and she is surrounding herself with yes men. And that is Audra and Nate. Yes, people. Because anything she says, oh, they're like, that's a great idea. Oh, and here's one more thing we could do to make it even more evil. And Victoria's like, oh, great brainstorming, team. It's just awful. The 3 of them together are just toxic twat waddles. And it's just very, very frustrating every time that they are in these scenes together. And I'm just wondering, how far is Victor going to let Victoria go? How much rope is he going to let her run out before he yanks it back and she hangs herself? He wants to threaten Adam not to start a war with Newman Media and with Victoria in this new company. But meanwhile, Victor's not doing anything about Victoria starting wars. He let her wreak havoc. Adam would be fat, dumb, and happy sitting at Newman Media, dating Sally. Everything would be copacetic. Nick wouldn't be there, so at least Victor wouldn't have both of his sons involved with Sally. So Victoria's nonsense has screwed up the whole entire family. So how long will it go before the mustache yanks her back and tells her that's it? Summer spoilers hint that he loses it and makes a change at the company. And really, it's fine. If Victor takes the chair back, great. If he puts Nick in it, great. Puts Nikki in it, great. Puts Adam there, great. But Victoria needs a permanent timeout from this CEO role, I think. I think she cannot be trusted with power. What do you guys think? Leave us some comments.
Thank you for being a loyal listener. Follow us wherever you get your podcast, because you don't want to miss the next episode. Soap Dirt is on all the major podcast platforms, including Apple Podcast, Spotify, iHeartRadio, and more.